Hey everyone, welcome back. So last month's video done extremely well, and for the 70 views that it's got, which was quite fast considering I took 2 or 3 months off, today we've got a bit of a problem. All this filament here that just got delivered to me today, but I've got nowhere to put them. I usually just have them like this one here. I've just got spools on the ground and they're not getting used, and I just need to keep putting them on the ground. I was looking through the Bamboo Handy app and I found someone that does stackable filament holders slash displays, and his name's James3 Design. So I decided, why not just print a bunch of them and use all the old filament that I've got, because all this new stuff is for when I get my new AMS system, and for when it comes to multi-core print, that's what they're for. Whereas now I'm trying to use all the old filament that I've got, which might make this like a whole multi-core print thing, which I don't mean for it to be, but it's the only way I can do it for the time being. So without further ado, I'm going to jump on the printer, get it set up, I'll do a time lapse, and then we can get going to when I've got them all. But I'm only going to time lapse one colour because there's no point in me time lapsing every single one of them, because the print takes about 3 hours each, and that's just the frame, and then the sticks are 3 hours on their own as well. So I'm just going to 3D print the one plate, time lapse that, and I'll come back to when it's all laid out, and I think I'm going to print about 10 of them plates. So this is the best angle I've got for now. You basically print these off, and then you print these kind of tube like things, and all you do is fit it in there, put them in there, then when you put that together, that's one stand done, which if I put it there to show you, that holds the spool. And then I printed off these. Now these take about 3 hours each for one of them. That's one plate, and it took 3 hours, so that's 6 hours between them. And all they do, just like that. And then I printed these because my green ran out, so I have to do the blue. But if I then put these on top, just like this, and make sure they're done properly, and then I printed off, so these tubes print with these blue ones, and obviously the green ones as well. So they're all one plate, whereas these long tubes here are a plate on their own, because 2 of them is enough to fill the plate. Whereas I can do these holder parts and these tubes on the one plate, annoyingly. So there you go, just like that. I would rather them be all one colour, but literally between this, so this whole blue bit is literally one plate, and that takes like 80 grams, and doing that to all the spools I need will be about a whole spool itself. So I didn't just want to waste a whole spool on just doing these, so I printed them in many other bits as well, as you've seen from the time lapse. And all they do is, when you want, you just fit your spools on like that, and then these ones up here are for sitting top spools, which I think is quite impressive. And then obviously, because you've done one, if you put more of these 2 plates here, you can keep going up and up and up. And I plan to go up as much as about 5-6 feet, just so that makes it, I've got all my filament and I've got an idea for my wardrobe, and I'll show you that now. So obviously this is my workstation that has everything on it, and I got a new AMS, that's in another video, I will be doing that very soon. But over here I've got all my clothes, and then I've got my shoe rack with a bunch of stuff that I need for the daily occurrence. And I figured, if I just move this over a bit, like that, I have just a bit of space to then put 2 of these things. So if I go and take these off to show, I'm sorry if you hear my device in the background, but it's currently making something for myself. But if I go and put this there and move this in a bit, I can technically have as many as them going up to here, and I'm quite tall, so that is probably about a good 2 meters. So I think I'm going to do that. I only time lapse for one of the green ones. I don't think you want to see multiple time lapses of the same thing, just in different colours. Plus I've had to switch out the filament halfway through because I got my AMS just in between me doing all these prints, so half of them I had to manually change the colour, whereas now I don't need to because I've got that, but that's a new video in itself. So I think I'm just going to print a lot more of them, and then I will put them all together and I'll show you, because I've got all the prints in a different room because I had nowhere to put them. So if you give me 2 seconds for the power of editing, I will have it all done. Remember how I said I had to manually do all the filament? So this started off black and then I had to do blue, which was annoying. And then this started off red, then I had to do a small bit of green. So I've got two things that are identical to each other, which makes it look like a candy cane. I did start off with a lot of blue to waste it all, so I've got another two here, and I've got another set here. So I'm just going to keep adding to this, and hopefully I can angle the camera enough to see it happen. And this might be going out of the camera's view, but I will show you in 2 seconds. So I realised having the camera on my desk isn't the best idea ever, but that's to show you that's two done now. So I've now got two towers done, and this whole process up to now has took about a day, which is quite unfortunate, but I have still got about 4 or 5 of them to do, so I'm just going to keep putting them on top and top and top, and we'll see what happens. And I'm going to try and angle the camera a bit differently. Okay, this is not the other best way to do it, but it's just to kind of show around, make sure they're all attached properly. I can put these on, and I'm going to put the parts that have just the one wee line of colour on the inside, just so from the outside you can't see it. And then to change it up, I went with some black and green. But annoyingly, I would have loved to do both of these, but I didn't have enough green, because the only greens that I bought 2 of these 250 gram spools, and I bought 2 1000 gram spools, but the 1000 gram spools I already used enough, so I didn't want to try and change it. But if we do this, and depending on how far we go up and how much I want to keep going with this, I will end up gluing them, because I do realise that if you just lift it up with 2 spools on the bottom, it will come apart. And then this angle is a bit different, but it's the only way I can show this as like a perspective of how big it is. So more green has been printed. I would probably try and do a black and green print of this to be cool, but then it's literally going in my wardrobe, and then the door's going to be closed over just so that no moisture gets in and all that, so it might not be worth it. And then I've put this one together as well, but now you can see the point where I've done multiple different colours, but I'm not really caring what kind of style it is. I just want it to work and not what the look is, if that makes sense. So this can hold 10 spools now, including sitting up at the top, but I think I'm going to go a bit more. So I've done the last reel of my blue, and then I had to stop after these two to do the black. How much does it annoy you that I'm literally going from black here to black here, and then putting green in the middle? And now there's blue at the edges. But like I said, if I was doing this with colour, I wouldn't be as bothered as I am now, but since it's just literally, I just want it to work more than what the colour is. But I will say, probably one of the best prints I've done, because you can literally stack these. Oh, if I can get this one unjammed, there we go. Because the best part is you can stack these up the way, and because you've got joints here, you can stack it out the way as well. So you can literally have a whole wall of these if you really wanted to, which I might plan on in the future. And then I've done this part off camera, but this is all the white I had left from another spool. So I kind of put it like this just to make it easier, but yeah, this thing was going to be tall. And now for the final result. I think I'm not going to put any higher because it won't fit in my wardrobe, but there we go. So after probably about a week's worth of printing, this is now complete. So I've done it as high as I can go so that it still fits in the wardrobe. But we will go and put it in and give it a shot. I might as well try and do this one-handed. Now I don't want it to go too far in, so these are all the spools, and it's now in fully, and it's literally just a perfect height. So I might do all the small spools at the top, and I've got 4 spools that are literally see-through, so I might put them near enough here and do the rest of them going down. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to show how this looks. So all the spools will be on in 3, 2, 1, and just like that. We've got all them on, and they are ranging from all the special colours I've got up here. So we've got wood grain, olive grey, pink and neon orange. Down to here we have all the see-through ones, so we've got red, blue, white, and I'm guessing this is like an orange colour, but that's the see-through ones, which is transparent. Down here we've just got your normal blue, green, red, and I did have yellow, but that's on the AMS, and they're all just the smaller ones of the same colours as the big ones. Over here we've got white, we've got black, we've got kind of a gunmetal grey, and then the other one is silver, and they are sitting there because they're all in different shades. These two I got from someone else, so that's see-through red and normal black. Then we've got 2 spools here that are basically just almost full. They're like 90% still full, so that's green and blue. Then we've got white, which is still in the wrap because it's not used yet. Rainbow that I got from my friend, which is actually pretty smart. I've done a few prints with them and I'll show you them soon. Down here is another black, and under that is TPU because I want to do a few stuff with rubber. So that is me 3D printing a spool holder for myself, or a spool storage system. And the best part is if I get rid of this, I can then make this go one more out, and I can have more. But yeah, so right now, these ones here are literally ones I've got like 20 or 30 grams minimum, and there's no more. So I'm doing small wee standard prints with them, so that's why they're outside. Bed's all clear now, which is great. So I think now I'm printing myself something for a future project, and I'm going to be printing more of these as well because these help the AMS sit. So I've noticed I buy Sunlu ones which have a 60mm diameter, whereas I got these ones from a pack of something and they're massive. So they allowed me to fit, so I might make more of them. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this video, but I'm glad I put it to a month away because doing all the storage system print literally took me about 2 weeks to do, with obviously if I'm wanting to just print, if I was to print all of them consistently one after another, they would have been done in a few days. But considering I'm doing other prints for other people plus doing that, but if I'm away to work or I'm away out in town, then I can just have one of them printing and it takes 3 hours, and by the time I'm done and I'm back, they're ready to take off the plate. So I hope you all like these new videos. I'm trying my best to make them as good as I can, hence why I'm using my V10, because the quality on this is absolutely amazing. But yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy. Please leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Last video hot 70 views, which was quite impressive for how long I waited until I posted, but we're going to keep doing this. My next video I think is going to be a review of the whole workstation and everything about it and what I did to have it where it is. And that might involve me installing AMS because I did that in another video, but I might put that as that one. So I do appreciate all the views and comments on last month's video. I put a lot of time into that as the first video back, but we are going to keep doing this. Next month's video will be the workstation and everything I've done to put it where it is, help everything, put the AMS up and just have it all as like this is in this bit here. So whereas if I want to close the wardrobe over, it's like nothing's ever here. Without further ado, I'll see you in next month's vlog. So until then, take care. Peace.